Hello.
Oh, you found yourself. So glad.
Hello, everyone. Hi. What's popping, gamers? My name is Scott. I'm currently filling in for John. John is away. He is coming back. I know a lot of you are really, really scared. Do not be afraid. He is coming back. So I've only been on here like a couple times. But I am on the site sometimes. What's the most recent? Lorelai, what's the most recent thing I did? Don't say it was Game of the Year.
Game of the Year?
Wasn't the
Hey, it's all right. You know what the most recent thing I did was?
What was it, Lorelai?
Game of the Year. I've been sick for a month and a half.
You do the podcast, though. You help with the podcast.
I edit the podcast, but I haven't been on it. We had to change the schedule an hour earlier because I got a new job. Which luckily they've been cool about me being sick for a month and a half.
Hopefully, yeah.
So
Lorelai friend, that's right. That's right. Thank you so much, Aspiring Shoulder, for letting us know Lorelai is in fact a friend. This is in fact the Gamesline Podcast. You were on only last week.
Yes,
okay,
true.
So that's something to keep in mind.
I was finally healthy enough to come on. It's nice. It's nice to not be dying. You know what I did last night? That was the greatest feeling in existence. I slept in a bed.
Whoa!
First time in a month and a half.
Whoa! That's awesome.
Because the fun of my heart condition is I can't lie down without it hurting more. So I literally have been living in a recliner for like a month and a half, and it sucks.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But getting to actually sleep in a bed last night, best feeling ever.
I've been sleeping pretty normal lately. It's been kind of cool. Like, I've been going to bed at like a normal time and like waking up after like normal amounts of sleep, and it's like, this is actually pretty neat. This is kind of cool. Nikolas, also here on the podcast, how are you sleeping?
I'm also here. I'm sleeping fine. I'm not consistently, I'm one of those people who like I go to bed when I say, okay, I'm done doing anything for the day, instead of, okay, I should go to bed about now.
Right.
So I'm prone to like staying up for 4 hours modeling something, and it's like, oh shit, it's 3 a.m. All right, time to go to bed. Night. And sometimes, I'll sleep like normal. So, we don't have a schedule over here.
Sure. I work a 9 to 5, so like I've been waking up at like 7 or 8. It's like, oh wow, this is awesome. I have like time before work to just like play a little bit of a game before I wind up playing games on the clock all day.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of time to myself.
Ooh,
that's so nice. But no, it's things are moving around here. Things are shaking. John is currently in the Pacific Northwest, and he is making big money moves. He's securing an incredible sponsorship and brand deal for us. Don't want to say with who. Don't want to say with who yet. It's fingers crossed, but let's just say you might be getting some very, very special types of water from us soon. Anyways, welcome to the Gamesline Podcast.
My name is John Bathwater.
Don't spoil the brand deal before we even gotten. We're trying to. I mean, yeah, it's not. Listen, making it isn't the difficult thing. That's easy to do. We know for sure that sponsorship is not frontier.
Yeah, fuck.
I'm not sure what that. I don't know what that means. This is the problem.
He got trapped for 2 days in an airport.
Right. He did get trapped in an airport. That's scary. I almost got trapped in an airport during like my last big trip, which at this point was like over a year ago, I think. And it's like it was a moment where I'm like, okay, I have to figure out whether or not I'm going to be here for at least 9 hours. I had to figure out whether or not it's fiscally worth it to go to the Chase Air Lounge and pay $80 to have like a couch to sit on for the next like 9 hours or so. And then I went there and they were like, oh, I can find a newer flight for you, like right now, that you can go on and go home. I'm like, oh, you'll just do that? Like, I don't have to pay you $80 to sit on a couch? And they were like, yeah. It's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, my last getting trapped in an airport was the Palm Beach airport, which if you've never been there, it's in the middle of the desert, so it's open air. But if you've also been to the desert, you know that open air and during the day is fine. It's hot as hell. You're very grateful for the air conditioners, but at night, it's fucking cold as shit. That was a very unpleasant evening.
No, it's not good. Generally, you don't want to be in the desert, is the thing I've learned about like most biomes and landscapes. Is the there's a reason it's called the desert, and that's because you get deserted there and you die. That's why. So you generally don't go to the desert.
You're just only there when you're on a horse with no name.
Nicholas, you've been to a desert?
No.
Do you want to go to a desert?
Don't desert me there. No.
Good. You've learned.
Scary.
Exactly. You listen to my advice. Now you know. Don't go to a desert. We've been playing some video games. I spent the last month playing pretty much nothing but Pokopia. And there's a little guy named Saul Goodman did pretty okay out in the desert. Okay. I guess I don't want to spoil the show, but he was a criminal, so I don't think that I don't think that's like
lawyer.
What?
He was doing his job.
Actually he was. he was doing things outside of the rounds of the law, which is like the whole point of Better So, I've been playing nothing but Pokopia. Have y'all got a chance to touch it? I know John. I haven't listened to the last few podcasts. Sorry. I'm going to assume that John has talked about this extensively at this point.
He only did it last week, and we were very happy to hear him talk about it because it was such a emotional journey through his love of Pokopia. It is. Legitimately, that guy made me cry with his passion and love for Pokopia.
It is definitely a game that fosters an emotion in you, one way or another. I have had without getting too deep into it, I've been having a pretty bad last few months. Just sort of like, in general, with life, stuff like that. Don't want to talk about it too much, but let's just say, when you're really depressed, a game like Pokopia hits really hard. It's like, wow, turns out there's like good stuff in the world. Well, I guess there's some good stuff in the Pokemon world. It's a really interesting game. I don't feel like I need to go over the premise of it too hard. But for what it's worth, as someone who's on disability leave from work, sure does. 1000%. So at this point, I checked and saw what my last my first Pokopia posts were. Just saw looking through some posts yesterday. They were like 24 days ago, which I think is like roughly when the game came out. So and I really, and in my head, I feel like it's been a shorter time span, but it definitely has not. So in that almost a month's worth of time now that Pokopia has been out, and I've basically been playing it daily nonstop. I've done everything. I've done almost everything. My habitat dex is filled up. My environment levels on every single place at 10. Everyone's happy. They're all chill. Everyone's having a good time. I got extra shops open so Pokemon can go do their jobs. There's like a few Pokemon left. Just like there's like 2 non-legendary Pokemon left that I haven't found yet. And I already have the habitat set up for them, so it's just a matter of time before they get there. And then the last few Pokemon other than that are I didn't know how to find them, so I just looked it up, and looking it up, it's like, oh, this is like actual like I don't want to say bullshit. I don't want to say this is straight up bullshit, but it's like, oh no, this is stuff like I probably wouldn't have found out otherwise. Like one of them is I have to repeat the story quest for that area for that Pokemon to come and join us full time. And then the other ones, if you're not familiar with Pokopia, it is essentially Animal Crossing meets Dragon Quest Builders, in that with the Pokemon wrapping. And all of the areas that you can build in ostensibly have limited resources in them one way or another. A lot of them, but it is technically limited in the fact that they are set areas that are like their own contained spaces. So what they did was they decided, in order to add an element that allows you to keep getting resources, is they added a thing called Dream Islands. Whoa, Lorelai, something awesome is going on with you.
Yeah, sorry. Other people didn't see that. I did it on the other screen for a reason.
That's fair. They added this system called Dream Islands, which just spin up procedurally generated islands that have the biomes of the areas in them, that you can find rare resources. And what I found out is, in those areas, you can also find a small handful of legendary Pokemon. And that's only done through RNG. 100% fully random. You can only go to a Dream Island once per day. So if you're trying to hunt these guys down and you're not like skipping the clock forward on your Switch 2 to become the next day, you just have to go to a Dream Island, search around, hope it's there, and if it's not, oh well. Wait till tomorrow, I guess. It's weird because I feel like I've done everything in the game. Like, everything you can do other than, like... At this point, it's my sense of creative freedom gone wild. I can build whatever I want, which I can do that. And frankly, I can do that in frankly better games at this point.
Yeah.
It's just this one has Pokemon in it, so that's what's important.
I mean, it does sound like, I talked about it last week, but Dragon Quest Builders was the first, like, Minecraft-like that I actually enjoyed. Found some enjoyment out of it because there was, like, this push to move forward.
Right.
And, like, an actual focus to it, and this sounds like more of that. This sounds like...
Yeah, no.
What if you took that and Animal Crossing and gave you a point of things to do instead of just wandering aimlessly, deciding what to do yourself? Which is why I constantly fall off Animal Crossing. Like Animal Crossing, right. I'll start up, I'll get my island all set up. I don't give a shit who moves in. I don't care about my favorite villagers except for Dom. I always need Dom because
of course
Dom. But for the most part, like, I just don't care, like, about there's not an overall, I don't care about the internal housing shit.
Right.
So, like, upgrading my house, I don't care. Like, that's the main crux of the thing. It's the only actual goal you have, really. Compared to this and Dragon Quest Builders, which actually give you goals to work towards constantly so that I'm moving forward the things. It's also why I like Hello Kitty Island Adventure, because you've constantly got quests to do alongside the regular stuff. It's alongside the Animal Crossingness of it all. Right.
I wanted to say to that end, I do genuinely like the story. The story, it's weird because like there's this like connection between like what is lore, what is story. But I think in this game specifically, and I use lore almost in a not a derogatory sense, but like in a way that's like I think people kind of overuse it to mean like elements of a plot, which is not necessarily what lore is. And I think in this sense, this is it's basically explaining what happened to what happened to the people on the world is not really important to what you're doing in the game, because what you're doing in the game is you're building houses for Well, you're building like cities and stuff for Pokemon to live in. You're making habitats for them, and you're searching around. You're trying to find information, but like the stuff that you learn, the backstory, the reason for why the world is the way it is such a compelling mystery, and you figure it out basically by the second area. You find out what happened, and it's pretty easy to put the clues together. It doesn't matter which second area you go to either, because there's like a splitting route after the first one of which one you want to go to. And then at that point, like whichever one you go to, you will find a note that explains pretty much in no uncertain terms, oh, this is what happened. And it's like the mystery is still compelling up to that point, though, because it's like, because all of the information that you're finding is still like is following like different plot threads. It's following like, here's what these characters were doing. Here's like there's an entire plot line that's centered around a nameless hacker who got tapped to help build the computer system that you actually use in the game to help you rebuild stuff. And then you find out like what his involvement with the situation, or their involved. I don't know. I say his because there's a lot of speculation right now that this was probably Bill. You know, this is a game that is playing with nostalgia in really fun ways. There's like a bunch of different like alternate like storylines that you follow through the notes that you're finding in the world while you're exploring. My favorite one is the Team Rocket storyline. because it's Team Rocket post the events of Pokemon where they've been beaten and all of their stuff is basically fucked up, and they're just at this point they're basically just some 2-bit criminals who are like disorganized, and everyone just has a bad, like, they have a bad reputation, so no one really like gives them any mind or anything. But at the point where everything is happening in the big catastrophe that caused everyone to disappear, Team Rocket is just sort of like this. There's these notes by this Team Rocket guy who's just like, well, what if Team Rocket tried to just help a little bit, you know? And that stuff is really compelling. And then there's like a note at the very end of it that has a line in it that genuinely like made me laugh in a way that's like, that's so cute. That's so awesome. I love that this happened.
So it sounds like Koei Tecmo put all their interesting alternate history writers on that game instead of fucking Neo 3.
I don't know if I'd say that. It's still a Pokemon game.
It sounds like there's interesting, weird writing that's weird and fun that you could maybe sell people on a game with.
I wouldn't say it's that weird. It's all very straightforward because it is still a game for kids. So it's like they designed it to make it so like kids can still understand what's happening. But it is
Are you saying that kids can't understand the idea that Nobunaga was just like, I think you guys should make out, so I'm going to call you Hideyoshi.
It's dealing with themes. It's dealing with ideas. It's dealing with like a post-apocalypse in a really interesting way. And it's about and it's ostensibly about rebuilding, which is what I'm all about. That's the shit. That's that shit I do like. So all of that hits really well. It's just the fact that I've been playing it for a month straight, and I've done basically all the content in the game, and I've seen every item, and I've made every habitat, and I'm like inches away from recruiting every single Pokemon that is possible to recruit. And I am like, I don't know how I'm going to keep coming back. Like, I guess I can come back and play with friends every now and then if they want to play, but like the multiplayer features in this, I'm going to say, charitably, they need some work. Because they only really let you play with your friends in one designated area and on not only like the Dream Islands, which are the randomly generated ones, but also Cloud Islands, which are a different thing from Dream Islands, which are also randomly generated, but they're not for the purpose of just mining materials. These are for the purposes of you building something up so you can get a code to share with people so that they can come and visit that. And also there's an in-game item that lets you just view people's Cloud Islands. You can go from Cloud Islands to Dream Islands. I didn't know that.
Huh. Looks like somebody hasn't seen all the content in the game.
Well, there's a bunch of user-made stuff that you can just go and visit if you want. One of my friends, I visited one of my friends' place, and they had built in the middle of their pallet town, which is the like in-game area that you can mess around with friends. They had built a giant Pokemon arena, like massive, think the size of like an actual a basketball stadium. You know what I mean? And they built this in their little Pokemon world, and it's just massive, and it's in the middle of a fucking ocean, and it's like, this is insane. I don't know how you like planned this and put this together, but I'm so proud of you for doing it. Sorry, my throat is messing up. I'm gonna try and finish talking about Pokopia in a bit so I can let someone else speak for a bit. But I've had a really good time with it. I have had a really good time exploring, and I'm really worried about whether or not I'm going to be able to come back to it, because they've only had one event at this point, which was the event where you can recruit what am I forgetting? You can recruit Jumpluff, that's close to Jeff. The whole Jumpluff family, Jumpluff, Skiploom, and Hoppip. And they have their own special items and their own special habitats associated with them as well. And it's like, okay, if there are more of those coming, I guess I'll check back in to see what happens. And I'll probably build some stuff, but I think at this point I might be done. I don't know if I'm going to come back. And this might be a little bit of fortuitous timing, because maybe just a little bit of a Pokemon's Echo. Pokemon Champions is coming out in like 3 days. The big hack from a while back indicated 2 to 3 years of updates, including new areas. Now, that's what I would be interested in. I would really like to see what DLC of this game looks like. I would really like to see what new areas look like. Not just because I don't like the areas that already exist, but because the best time I have had in this game is going to a new area, finding all the new Pokemon there, and learning finding the notes and like exploring and seeing all the unique things that are already there. That stuff has always hit super, super hard. Basically in each big area past the first one, there's like one giant set piece thing, and they do a really good job of introducing one after another. And that's been really cool to discover. One of the secondary areas that you can go to is very cave focused. So you're going into a cave and exploring around and gathering materials and you're getting ores, your gold, your iron, your copper, crystals, lava. Ooh. But then when you explore deep enough into the caves, you come out to a really massive, a little bit of spoilers for the Rocky Ridges area, which I want to say is like maybe not that big of a spoiler, because at this point people have already found it, and I've already seen some fucking hilarious videos about it. But you walk out into a building, and you're like, this building is massive. And then you realize, this is a museum. And you're like, this is the museum specifically for Pewter City. and it's just been completely covered in volcanic rock and ash. And it's like mind-blowing when you put these realizations together. And now I'm like, I've got a bit of a small project in my head where I'm like, well, what if I rebuilt the museum? You know, what if I got all the materials I needed to match the ones that are already there, and we just built it back, and then, you know, maybe dug it out a little more because it's covered in rock. And I'm like, well, and then it'll be easier for the Pokemon that are around me to go and visit it. And that's how they keep hooking me to keep playing.
Yeah.
It's like they do a good job of presenting you with a massive project and then putting together like how you want to handle it. Which also I want to say there are like they do this thing where they're like, okay, this is a chill, relaxing game. Professor Tangrowth tells you right at the jump, hey, take everything at your own pace. You don't have to rush. You can do whatever you want. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's
Professor
cool.
Tangrowth does not know gamers.
Here's the thing he's wrong about is when you start the game and you get your like initial set of powers and you're like, oh, well, I could build stuff. This is kind of what I want to do to build, but there's this stuff in the way. I got to figure out how to get rid of this stuff. And your powers to do it at that point are fucking terrible and make everything take so long if you want to do anything. And if you really want to build, you have to get the end game power, because the end game power is like, oh, this is just literally building God mode, basically. So if you really want to build anything, you're going to want to beat the game first. So you kind of got to rush through everything. They do a bad job of being like, you should take your time. You should not worry. You shouldn't stress. You don't have to rush anything. It's fine. Go at your own pace. But they don't seem to understand. Like, that doesn't parse with, if you want to do anything in this game, you should really beat it as soon as possible. Don't waste any fucking time, or else you are going to sit there for hours on end trying to dig through a solid brick wall, and you're not going to be able to. It's going to take you hours, and it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun, and unless you are specifically having a bad time in your life where you just need to do something mindless for hours on end and you don't care what it is, and as long as holding a trigger down so you're breaking down a wall that's like 20 blocks wide and 20 blocks tall, then you might be able to do that. I'm not going to say whether or not that's something I did, but you should play the game first, get all the powers before you try and build anything cool. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. All I think is like they probably it makes sense from like a logistical perspective. How do we dole out like the interesting powers? And it's like, yeah, you beat the game to get the strongest power. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But it's like it doesn't parse with the pacing of take your time, go at your own pace. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it, because you do worry about it. The game is designed in such a way that it does make you worry about it. Anyways, that's my main gripe with Pokopia. Otherwise, great game, 10 out of 10. That's my review. Actually, it's gonna be an 8 out of 10 for me because the trees kind of look bad at a distance or something. And that's why everyone should be mad at me.
The water reflections weren't perfect.
Oh, the water reflections are terrible.
There weren't enough fucking puddles. What the fuck?
Puddles. Haven't they played Spider-Man?
There were more puddles in Spider-Man, and there weren't enough puddles there. Oh, God. Fucking... I'm dying from a lack of puddles. All right.
Nikolas, I do want to throw to you, because I would love to hear what you will have to say about Final Fantasy VIII, but unfortunately I have tons of Final Fantasy VIII opinions, and I need to rest my voice. So, Lorelai, please tell me about Slay the Spire 2. I want to hear Slay the Spire 2.
Hey, so have you played Slay the Spire?
No.
Well, it's that with multiplayer.
I've watched Northern Lion.
It's that, but it has multiplayer now too, and it's really, really fun. Like they've still got like a mastery of deck building. It's fun with early access too, because like 2 weeks ago I was playing one way, and that way is absolutely just like dog shit now, because they're still working on the balance and stuff like that. So like a build that 2 weeks ago would have been like, hey, this is an instant clear, is now like, oh, this sucks. This absolutely sucks. Like, but you know, and they put out like that's my least favorite thing about early access too, because they put out that balance patch which kind of broke some of the overpowered builds. And so, of course, they got inundated with negative Steam reviews, even though they said, y'all, we're in early access. We're still working on the balance. You know this. You know when the game comes out, it's going to be like what it was before. But yeah, it's like it's still in early access. So there is a lot of those changes coming out. But it is one of those things that it feels a lot bigger than the first game. There's a lot of really cool mechanical interactions that you can do now. There is one character that I have been absolutely loving playing. That's entire gimmick is they have a little summoned hand buddy. It's a skeleton. They're a skelly man, and they summon a skelly hand that any unblocked damage that you take goes to your hand before it goes to you. And so, like, the build I had going last night, which finally cleared it in one of the higher ascension difficulties, is I ended up that hand by the end of my second turn usually would have like 100 some odd health. And its entire thing is when it attacks with its health plus like 9. So you essentially just fucking one-shot everything once you get its health high enough. So like I had an entire build that was just built around summoning, but it also has other build ways to play. There's some of its abilities are like every time you use this card, you get a soul, which is a thing that lets you draw 2 cards, and then it goes into your exhaust pile, which means it doesn't exist anymore. So the entire thing was, I had gotten rid of so many cards from my deck. So my deck entirely consisted of cards that summon souls, and the souls they would summon.
Awesome.
And every time you summon a soul, it did 6 damage, and your buddy gained 2 health. But because of the way the system is, it was so broken that I had got rid of so many cards. Every single card summons souls, which lets me draw more cards and go through my deck to always have those cards up. So as soon as you cast this does 2 damage, and this does this, every time you use a soul, you're just getting free draw, free draw, free draw, free draw, free draw, free draw, as the thing just whittles down every single enemy. There are so many, like, I love building out a build in games. Like, it's why Neo 3 is still, like, great, instead of, you're not going to see me saying Game of the Generation Neo 3. You just aren't. But this is the kind of thing where I have build variety for all of the different characters that is so much fun. Like, one of the characters summons a sword. Every time you use an ability, you give it like 10 to 15 more damage every time it hits. And then you have a random chance once you beat the first area of giving it an ability that makes it so its attack hits every single enemy on screen. So by the end of my second turn, I'm hitting every single enemy on screen for 50 plus damage every time it attacks.
That's awesome.
It's just like, oh, it feels so good. And all of the different characters in there are currently 5 of them. I think it's 1 new and 4 from the original. Yeah, Sovereign's Blade Regen is so fucking fun. It's so good. Yeah, it's just like everything in there it's so much fun to build. It captures what I loved about the first, and even though the balance isn't quite there because early access, it's so much better. Like it's legitimately better at the deck building options and stuff like that. Like my first clear was with the Silence, which is like the assassin character. I hadn't got past the first area with them in like 10 runs. I was just like, I can't come up with a good build with this. Mm-hmm. And then I finally figured out a good build for it and got the cards for it. And in the third zone, I was fighting every single boss on like mini boss on the way up instead of just fighting regular enemies, because I was doing so much damage and taking so little damage by that point. It was like, I finally have a build that can win, and every time I attack, I put like 3 shivs in my deck, so I just bleed that fucking thing dry. It's so good. So good. Like, really, I'm really happy that Slay the Spire 2 continues to be like a life sink over the last little bit.
It genuinely sounds like something I would really enjoy. I still haven't played. I mean, I guess at this point, if I haven't played Slay the Spire, I probably don't need to. I can just jump into Slay the Spire 2. I don't think it would.
I mean, Slay the Spire 2. If you did that, totally got to play some co-op together, because the co-op is ridiculously fun too.
But it's like, it is the kind of game where it's like I'll watch gameplay of it and be like, that seems like some shit I fuck with. That really seems like some shit I fuck with.
Yeah, so, 2 is... Yeah. Deep Flaw is correct in that the 2 is just really, really, really fun.
I do want to try the co-op for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nikolas, you put a big blinding sign in front of me that says Final Fantasy VIII. Speak on that?
Yeah, so these past few weeks... Okay. So a bit of a background. I'm in a friend group that's been going through the Final Fantasy games in order. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like a 4 after years thing that they did. Like they're going through all the additional stuff.
Haven't played
I think
after
except
years,
for FF7 compilation. They're skipping out on that stuff, but they're doing like 10-2. They're doing like the DS game for 12. They're doing that 4 thing. They're doing a lot of the additional stuff. And
I haven't played after years, but I have been doing something very similar. I've actually been like stuck on, not stuck in the terms of like I haven't been able to play it, but like I just haven't gone back to 12 yet. It's just been, I've been like mid playthrough on it. I probably will at some point. It's weird because it's like, it's a game where if you have numbers brain, if you've played gacha games, or at the time it was designed primarily to be a single player MMO basically, because all the gameplay systems are essentially similar to what they were doing at the time, like WoW and Final Fantasy 11, which I still haven't played that either, but it hits so much different in an era of gacha games where everything, like basically every gacha game is designed to be played for you. So when you have a game where all you really have to do is move the directional buttons around and you can decide how your characters do what they do with like an assigning system, it feels different. But also fundamentally as a game, it is very boring. It's very boring. I find myself playing that at 3 times speed pretty much the entire time I'm playing it. But yeah, I've been on a very similar Final Fantasy journey, so I'm very interested in... I played 8 2 years ago? 2 years ago? Last year? No, it was 2 years ago. But I played it very recently and still have very strong opinions on it, so please, the floor is yours.
So this is the first one of them that I've been able to join in on, because this is the first one they've started while I've been out of like late year college. Like, as I could have probably joined in on the previous ones, but I'd have to be like doing it alongside studying for like these final year classes, and I don't want to be managing that because they have rigorous schedules for it. At least they're supposed to. It's like, all right, we always do like Wednesdays at this time. Only half of the people showed up. All right, I guess we're not doing it, which is why it takes so long to get through the games sometimes.
They're Final Fantasy, so they're not short games.
Yeah. But it's like, well, because, again, this is the first one I've been able to join in through, and I finished college like months and months ago, and they were doing like, they basically just wait like, I think 3 or 4 months between games, which is fine because they're long experiences. But it was like, oh God, please just start this one so I can join in this time. Please, please, I want to play a game with my friends. Please. But finally started 8, and oh boy. You know how parents are like, video games are the leading cause of violence in children? Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
They're completely right, but they're not about any of the games they're talking about. Because, and I know this will probably sound mean, but playing through Final Fantasy VIII in a group where most of the other people in there turn into Darkside Phil when they don't get something in a minute makes me want to run out onto the street, find the first living thing I see, and smash it between my hands. It is insane playing this kind of game with those kinds of people.
Yeah, here's the thing about Final Fantasy VIII is...
I love it a lot. Oh my god.
I like it a lot. Here's the thing about Final Fantasy VIII is it has hype moments, it has aura, it invented the gunblade, which is... like, in terms of weapons Final Fantasy has invented, probably the coolest thing you could ever come up with is a gun, is a sword that has a gun in it. Is cool as fuck. And also it popularized the term gunblade, which is perfect. It's great. I love the characters. The writing is great. It's also this thing where it's like a proto Kingdom Hearts, where you can really start to see the Nomura, like, you can start to see what Nomura's, like, creative oeuvre would turn into when he finally gets to Kingdom Hearts. People like to point to Final Fantasy VII for that. They're fucking wrong. Or they'll point to Final Fantasy X. They're also wrong. Final Fantasy VIII is where it starts. But also, Final Fantasy VIII is a tremendously boring game that's terrible to play.
I love Final Fantasy VIII, but it's, for me, it's the most like endlessly replayable of the Final Fantasies because there are so many ways to do a challenge run.
Right. That's my like big caveat with Final Fantasy VIII is like, if you're trying to play it as an RPG, it is miserable. It is an amazing game for speedrunners. It is a game where it's like, if you are trying to play it in a very specific way, you are going to have a great time. But unfortunately, as an RPG, it is dog water awful.
So here's a fun thing. On a forum I used to be part of, when the game came out, I'm very old, I had actually programmed a thing for a challenge run that we did every year where the entire gimmick was every single, like, thing you could slot magic into was locked and randomized. So kind of like the Final Fantasy, the 4-job fiesta for Final Fantasy V that they do. Every year, me and the, like, 40 people on this forum would play through the game with this challenge that we had built, where it would randomly assign a spell to a slot. You could only put that spell on that slot. So my last playthrough, I could only slot Ultima into Zell's HP, so he just never had HP. Until like
that's
the third
awful.
disc. And it was so fucking wild going through that game with just like such a challenge, because it is like, oh, I can't slot anything into this stat until like 2 discs in. And it's there's just a lot of really cool stuff you can do with that game. Hell, it's just like hey, do you want to beat it? Do you want to have Ultimacia be the biggest pushover in the world. Well, you can beat it at level 1. She has like 10 HP.
I know.
You want her to have like 1 billion HP? Beat her at level 99. Like,
yeah.
It's really cool. I love the different ways you can play that game just because of its weird ass system. And and you can break everything in the first disc with triple triad. That was like the nice part. The thing once you figured that out, it's like, okay, this challenge isn't as bad because I can turn cards into what I need.
I know,
with enough farming.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like the thing about Final Fantasy VIII when I go back and think it, when I like really think on it, is like, oh, they really went out of their way to make sure in a very Final Fantasy II way, that every system in it is just completely different, very arbitrarily. You know what I mean? It's also a game that's very much in conversation with Final Fantasy VII, which for as far as RPGs are concerned is unbelievably straightforward. Like, you have materia customization, and that's basically it. You have equipment slots, that's basically it. Final Fantasy VIII is like, fuck you. Listen. You want to do some bullshit? You can do bullshit in Final Fantasy VII as well, but you don't have to pull up a spreadsheet to do it. That's the entire point. Yeah. Final Fantasy VIII is a game that's like, you remember Final Fantasy VII? Guess what? This is Final Fantasy VII 2, motherfucker. We did everything crazier. We put shit on spreadsheets you don't even know exist. There's menus under menus under menus, and they're all important. And I, as someone who loves menus, I respect the fuck out of the way they built the crazy way that they built this game for, quite frankly, no reason. But also, it doesn't fix that it's still really unfun to play. Nikolas, how's your experience been so far?
I've been liking it a lot. I think I'm really torn on if it's my favorite one or not. I think,
which Final Fantasies have you played?
7 to 10, and then a little bit of 12. So out of that line, like, I've played I think all the ones that are like in the like middle era of modern. I don't know what people count 12 as, but there's like the old games,
the PS2 era,
right?
Yeah, but I don't see 12 and 10 considered like the same era. But I feel like
no,
the jump into MMO feels like a split point.
Yeah, that's the big thing. 12 is a really interesting game because it's a divergence point. It's a divergence point for the series in a myriad of ways. One, it's the first time that they moved away from the traditional turn-based battle system, and like the games would never become another turn-based battle game ever again. Except for Final Fantasy 13, but that is similar to Final Fantasy 12. It's not actually isn't turn-based. It's fully automatic, but you go into battles in a very similar way. But from that point onward, it's like the Final Fantasy games would never be the same. It's also the first time they really gave Matsuno a brush at like creating one of these games. And when you play that after you've played Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre, checked out the Ogre Battle games, it's like, oh, all of his hallmarks are in this, and it's very, very charming for that. And also, every single one of the NPCs is basically identical to the ones in Final Fantasy X. Because not only is it the same like technology, but also Final Fantasy X is set in a high humidity, like tropical area where most people are very lightly dressed. And Final Fantasy 12 is set in a high humidity desert area where a bunch of people are very lightly dressed. So wouldn't you know it, all they did was really just change the colors on some of the outfits, and most of the characters are basically the same models. It looks so, it's crazy that so much of it has Matsuno's aesthetic, Matsuno's like creative identity when it comes to the writing, the character work, everything, and it still looks so much like Final Fantasy X. Anyways, Final Fantasy VIII.
It's a good game.
You say it's like inching out your favorite, and you said you played through 7 through 10 and a little bit of 12. It's beating 9 for you, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, what I like about 8 all comes down to the word weird. 8 is very weird.
It is very
weird. I like
weird.
that it is very weird. I like that the story is weird. I like that the gameplay systems are weird. I like weird. It's weirdly funny is also a big point for it.
Right.
Like, I think 8 to 10 is this really strong stretch of these games being funny. I thought it was just like 9 and 10 specifically being strong up there, but this was like a continuous stretch where it's like these are really good, goofy characters. I don't think this cast is as strong as 9s or 10s. I do like the main characters of this one, and I also really I like everyone in this game, but 9 and 10 are like beating each other to death in the fight for best RPG cast, period. Like, they have to sandbag themselves by the fact that they both have a character that was added probably a week before the games came out, whereas this game doesn't have one of those. But
yeah, here's the thing about the characters in Final Fantasy X is, yeah, Wakka starts the game racist, but he learns how to not be racist. Okay? A lot of people forget about that part of it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Wakka's
like,
awesome.
everyone loves bringing up, like, yeah, Wakka's just a big... It's like, no, there's...
That's the point of his character.
Like,
that's his growth.
How dare you give characters character development and have them learn from mistakes and... Oh...
No, I'm with you. I do think 9 is still my favorite, probably all around, in terms of yes, it's a lot more traditional in terms of like what it very much was we need to return. No, we need to go back to the
Final Fantasy VI almost.
Sorta. I think Final Fantasy VI hews a lot closer to 7, 8, and 10 than 9 does, because 9 is a lot more like 9 is like Final Fantasy 1. It's Final Fantasy 4 and 5. You know what I mean? It's like here are a bunch of very traditionally medieval characters, but we're also going to introduce like the weird stuff that it introduces is stuff that's like is like here is a race of characters that are all weird frog creatures that are all obsessed with how things taste, stuff like that. And also the one who joins your party is like canonically non-binary. It's really interesting. The weird stuff is like it's very traditional,
fantastical.
Yes, it's very like medieval, fantastical, and it's like 7 is a gritty game. 8 is a gritty game. 9 is a game where like war and genocide is happening.
Yeah.
But also, if war and genocide is happening while you have like very cute characters running around like trying to fix everything. Like, you look at the design of Steiner and he's comical compared to the things he has to go through.
I fucking love Steiner so
Steiner's
much.
great. Steiner's awesome.
Is one of my favorite Final Fantasy
I think
characters.
Steiner is probably my favorite Final Fantasy character, like, just flat out. It's either him or Tidus. I'm not sure.
I do like Tidus a lot. It's interesting in those ways, and I do like how it evolves and where it goes. Like the latter like third, maybe like a quarter of the game going explicitly sci-fi, and then introducing a whole bunch of introducing a whole bunch of existentialist concepts, was really awesome. That's what I love about Final Fantasy IX is the fact that it's willing to go there in ways that it feels like the other Final Fantasy games are holding back on. Also the Final Fantasy games being like weird love stories where it feels like they really try and it's there obviously, but and it is like it is a big part of the story, because in Final Fantasy VII, a big running plot line is Cloud gonna get together with Tifa or Aerith? But Final Fantasy IX's character motivations are so very, like, Zidane is driven by the fact that he is in love with Garnet, and when she, like, breaks it off with him halfway through the game, he is completely despondent. And it's like, wow, that is like they're not toying around it, they're not messing with it. It's like they're fucking getting involved in it. They're really trying to make sure that you give a fuck about these characters and like their relationships. And you know, eight Squall loves Renoa, and that's you have the giant scene where you have the giant scene with them in space where they finally, like, you know, their emotions all culminate. And then, like, the end of the game is about, like, the end of the game, are they going to find each other in the big temporal vortex? And they do. And it's like, oh, that's great. That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. You can make the story about that, but it's like, it doesn't feel like you're actually trying to talk about these characters' emotions or build their relationship in interesting ways. Divorcee energy.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I felt like the love story in Final Fantasy IX was so much more potent than the other ones. And it's like, the other ones aren't even that bad. Like, Final Fantasy X and X-2 are about Yuna and Tidus.
Like,
you know
Final
what I mean?
Fantasy VIII's love story works better in Final Fantasy XIV when it's teen lesbians.
Sure.
And Squall is just a goth.
I know. My God. It's I just love Final Fantasy IX so much. It's going back to that one too. It's just like, oh, it all hits so good. It all feels right. Vivi's great. It's one of the best characters in video games of all time. And like the ways it builds off of its own themes and gets even like crazier and makes you like presents even more interesting questions. Yeah. Final Fantasy is awesome. Everyone should play all of them in a row sequentially. I think we should move on.
Yeah.
unless of course you have any more Final Fantasy VIII thoughts you want to add.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I do actually want to hear what you have to say about Bubsy 3D too.
Yeah, so I went on Haul to grab a bunch of stuff from Miriant because Miriant ceased to be at the end of the month, tragically. We can say Miriant now. It's gone now. No.
Sure.
It's on. There's no point keeping it under wraps. My beloved Miriant. And I went to get a bunch of games that, like, I actually had set up a list for. Like, I want to make sure to grab these because, like, I don't know where to, like, buy this. And I saw one of them, like, while I was scrolling through the list, I saw, oh, but Bubsy 3D was on this console. Hey, I've got a funny idea. So I just added it to the list and decided to play it because, you know, why not, right? Like, why not just play Bubsy 3 once? I gotta say, it is horrible. It is horrible.
Yes.
Dog shit game no one should play.
True.
I was expecting it to be way worse. I was expecting it to be a lot worse than it was. But, like, when I press forward, I go forward. But, like, I didn't think it'd do that. I go forward in a fucked up way that is stupid and doesn't make any sense. I thought it wouldn't even do that. It's so weird, like, playing a game that has been the most popular, this is the worst game ever on the internet for a period longer than a decade.
Right.
And it's just, like, normal extremely bad, you know? There's, like, this mythological legend kind of bad you build up in your head, and then there's normal, really, really extremely bad. And it's like, man, it just being the second one is really weird. It's really weird that this didn't, like, brick my fucking device. It's really weird that, like, I can use the control stick, and he moves consistently. He doesn't move in the way I want him to, but he moves around. one of the things that surprised me the most, and obviously this is not a compliment towards it because Crash Bandicoot also tried it like right after and did it way better, is it like explicitly trying to pattern itself after like Looney Tunes stuff. Like the environments are attempts to recreate stuff like the desert and natural, I guess it's natural now. Those sorts of backgrounds from like the shorts. Like if you look up Looney Tunes backgrounds and look at like the deserts at night and stuff, they have the sort of like vivid color splatterings that you see Bubsy 3D try to replicate, but it doesn't come across well because that game looked really, really, really bad. Even though you can like see, and they're trying to make the music sync up with the actions too. Like when you use the glide jump in the game, it plays like this little like twinkling music over the song while he's falling, like how characters fall down cliffs in those cartoons, and it goes be liddy 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 to like sync up and make it feel more alive. It's really, really weird to like see any like a game that completely fails at trying to pick up an aesthetic and artistic intent, like still try that. Like it's trying to avoid not looking and sounding like total shit by going for something that looks like possible to replicate, and it is replicated on the console by like Sheep Raider, for instance. That game does accurately manage to have the aesthetic on the same hardware. It does it way, way better than Bubsy 3D, but it's really interesting to see a game that's just so terrible and like analyze the shortcuts it's trying to take to make up for it. It's really interesting. Also, I'm very surprised that there were so many control options in that game. I would not imagine that game to have any options whatsoever.
Look, say what you will about Bubsy 3D. There is some accessibility features in there, which puts them above like a significant amount of games.
Yeah. Is that all you have to? Anything else you want to add about Bubsy 3D before we go on to a break?
No, I just had the short thing to say about it is weird to see a game. It's weird to see this game built up as the beast of the genre actually just be a really, really bad thing in the genre and not like, this killed gaming. This is the worst thing ever.
That's the thing is like a lot of like retrospective when it comes to like these are the worst things. Like these are really awful are usually comparatively through the lens of, yeah, they were pretty bad at the time. And what constitutes a bad game back then is a lot different from what a bad game is nowadays. A bad game nowadays is like, is this game functioning? Can you play it? Is it very obviously like an asset flip or like something someone put together with AI? Whereas like a bad game in the era where every game was sold on a major platform was like Sonic, it was like Superman 64 or Sonic 06, you know what I mean? It's all like, it's stuff that is still in some way functional as a video game, but you are still like, how did this come out? You know what I mean? And that's like yeah, like Bubsy 3D by modern standards, probably not the worst game that's ever been made.
Like if you paid me money, I would 100% it. I can't imagine. You have to pay me a lot of money, but there are games I can imagine where it's like, I wouldn't do this. Bubsy 3D, you give me like, you give me way too much. I'd say, you know what? Sure, I'll play this. I'll beat this game. I'll get all the rocket parts. Who cares?
All right.
Hey, you want to go play Never Dead?
We're back with more games, talking about them. I played a game. You played a game?
I played
a game. Like I said, I spent most of this month playing Pokopia, but I played a game a little bit before that. It's called Half Sword. Are either of you familiar with this at all?
How much of a sword is in it?
Quite a few. There's actually quite a few, but the sword, I'm going to be real with you. If you're playing Half Sword, you probably don't want to use the sword. The sword, so like, early game sword's really great. Early game sword is really good. So Half Sword is a physics-based medieval dueling game. There's no multiplayer yet. It is a game that feels like it's 100% right for it. But the best way I think I can describe it is, what if you were playing QWOP with swords? Ostensibly.
Sword QWOP.
Sword QWOP. And here's the thing, though, is it's really fucking fun. It's so fun. I'm actually gonna grab some footage of it real quick, just because it's so difficult to explain. I don't know how to tell you physics-based sword dueling is not I don't know what image you conjures in your head. But let me just see if I can find half sword gameplay. No commentary, please. And I'll just pull this up. How long?
I like how polite you are, trying not to find commentary.
I just don't want commentary. And let me turn on the screen share for you so you can see what I'm seeing. It's going to be this window? Nope, that's not it. It's going to be this window? Okay. I'm sharing my entire screen.
You won. Hold G to... Oh, I've played this before. Yeah.
Okay, so you have played Half Sword.
Yeah. So, yeah, this game's fucking ridiculous.
This game is awesome. Ostensibly, for people who are listening and not watching the video, which if you wanted to watch the video, go to twitch.tv/GameslineTV. Every Sunday we stream. Or you can just watch it on YouTube. But what Half Sword... Ostensibly, they put a weapon in your hands, and then the rest of it is up to you. And it is the way they give you different options for how you hold your weapon. You have to make sure to continue holding it, because if you're not holding it, you will drop it. And it's very easy to drop your weapon. And you are just swinging your mouse around trying to slash at anything. Yes, because this isn't a game where you press a button to hit someone. This is a game where you swing a sword and it goes in a direction. It's a lot like swinging a sword in real life. You swing a sword and you need to make sure it's swinging exactly where you want it to. And it's so unbelievably fun because it's not just full chaos. There is an art to it. You can get really good at the game. You can learn what techniques work. A sword is a good weapon. A sword will get you through a lot of fights. It will kill people very easily. We just saw someone fall on the ground because they're crouching too much and they tried to walk in a direction that they didn't have enough weight to balance on that leg well enough, so they just fell over. And falling over is bad. You don't want to fall over. That's a really bad thing to happen. Most of the time, if you fall over, that's not good. But it's not just learning how to swing a sword. It's like you learn what the pommel of the sword is for. It's for pummeling people. You have to be able to hit people with the very back end of your sword. You can use fists too. If you don't have a weapon, you just put up your fists and you swing them. You just go left and right. You can do it JoJo style, Star Platinum. Just wail on them, and sometimes that's the right strategy. But here's the thing about this game is the longer you play it, the more upgrades you find. And by upgrades, I mean different weapons, different pieces of armor, like shields. The sort of metagame to it is you find pieces of armor. You can target and pick up a piece of armor that someone is wearing that you just beat and just put it on yourself. But other than that, you're like going in the shop and buying more. And the more armor that you get, the more parts of your body are protected. And the more parts of your body are protected, the different ways, the different ways people need to find ways to kill you. And also, like, you don't have to kill people. Like, you can knock people down and spare them as long as they're willing to give up. But it's just as important. It's just as important when you meet someone, because like while you're getting armor, the people that you're ranking up against are also getting armor. And if they have armor and you swing a sword at that, that's not going to do much. A sword just kind of bounces off armor, no matter how hard you swing it. Armor is designed so that when you try and hit it with like a thin, slender blade, it kind of just goes straight off of it. Yeah. Like it just... So, you start to adopt a new strategy, which is, what's the biggest, bluntest thing I can find that I can reliably swing at someone? and there is a foraging mode in this game where you can craft weapons. It is unbelievably obtuse. It doesn't explain itself. So you just kind of need to try and make a weapon and then go into the testing room and see how well it works so that you know so that you know whether or not it's gonna, like, you're gonna be able to not only hold this weapon, because if a weapon is too heavy, you're not gonna have an easy time carrying it. And if you're not gonna have an easy time carrying it, then you are gonna drop that weapon very quickly, and you will not be able to survive fights. And surviving is very important.
This game's so stupid.
It's awesome.
It's stupid in a beautiful way. Yeah.
So the late game battles of this are basically fully armored knights all pulling out big hammers and hitting each other with hammers. It's awesome. And you're trying to find... And it's not just like wildly, blindingly hitting each other with hammers. You are trying to find the most concise way to hit someone with a hammer that will make sure you will get them knocked down. And the best way to do that is you need to hit someone in the head. So you need to learn how to hit people in the head with a hammer, which is a big, heavy weapon that is hard to swing. It's awesome. This game is so great.
That's beautiful. I love dumb physics games. I wouldn't describe this one as QWOP as much, just because you can kind of
right, but there's also
a little more control. But
there's also a skill to QWOP. Like I've been playing through Baby Steps on stream as well, and that's a game where like the physics of you being able to walk from place to place are very that's also something that can be mastered. QWOP is something that can be mastered. Getting over it can be mastered. I think the same applies to Half Sword. Yes, the physics of it are difficult and obtuse, and at first they won't make a lot of sense, but the more you spend time with it, the more you learn the intricacies of it and how to make them work. You learn the precise techniques. You learn how you learn where it's smart to swing a sword versus where it's probably smarter to walk backwards and let them come to you. You learn how to in baby steps, you learn how to not put too much pressure on the thumbsticks to lift your leg up, because if you lift your leg up too high, it bends your knee. And if you bend your knee, that creates too much space between you and the wall. And sometimes you just want to lift your leg up without putting too much space there. So you can get from one spot to another on a very precarious, walkway. That is, it's that same sort of mentality of trying to figure out precision in something that is designed to not be precise. And that's why I think these kinds of games are beautiful. And that's why you should at least give Half Sword a try. I believe it's still in beta. It's still in early access. So there's a lot of stuff about it that's unfinished. I do hope that it eventually adds multiplayer, because holy fuck, would it be fun to play against other people trying to do this? It would be unbelievably fun and sick. Yeah, come watch Scott repeatedly fall off the Manbreaker on Tuesdays. I'm at the last challenge of Baby Steps right now. And the last few streams, the Manbreaker, yeah, I've just been doing that over and over again. And here's the thing about that is, when you get to that part, they're like, oh, here's the hardest challenge in the game. You can skip it by walking up the stairs if you want, but you'd be a pussy. You'd be a fucking pussy who sucks at this game. And I'm not a pussy who sucks at this game, okay? Oh, I'm good at baby steps. I'm gonna beat the man breaker. Anyways. Physics-based games are really cool. You should give Half Sword a shot. It's a lot of fun. I got, like... There was part of me that was really, like, really concerned about this game being, like, having, like, AI-generated content in it, because it's, like... It's a new game that is very roughly put together in a lot of obvious ways, and it's like you can really easily see the ways in which they could have used AI generated content to like fill those gaps. Yeah. And it's like that was sort of like in the back of my mind the whole time I played it. But then I like looked into it. And was like, oh wait, no, these guys are like firmly building this from scratch. So that's awesome. That's another win for us.
It's another win for the good guys.
Yeah, that's a cool game. Check it out if you wanna.
Yeah,
it's a good time. Let's move on. Lorelai, Monster Hunter Stories 3. Tell me about it.
So as a quick update, just because I talked about it a bit last week, I finished the main story of the game. Between then and now, continues to be it's a good story. It's not a great one. It's not bad. It's just kind of, it's a good, hey, it's taking you from here to here to here. It would have been well placed if I wasn't a freak about grinding everything out in an area. Like, if I just followed the story, it probably would have been really enjoyable, because you can just, like, you are powerful enough by just going around a few times, fighting the story monsters, really. You could probably get to the level you need to go through the story. I was like so far ahead of it that it made the story fights really fucking boring. It's like, oh, okay, here's 3 turns, and I just annihilate this thing. That's one thing. Like, but its end game is just really. I'm looking forward to digging into it more, because it adds a lot more challenges, a lot more extra monsters and stuff like that. And some of the other feral monsters, which are, guys that are just like puzzle fights, have been really fun. Like, one of the ones I fought recently, the entire gimmick was you have to have a blunt weapon like a hammer or the hunting horn, and you have to use an AoE attack on the same turn that it uses its big special ability. And if you do that, it shoots all its scales at you, and then you just get this really cool cutscene of you just baseballing them all back at it with a hammer. And it fucking rules. Like, all the little puzzle fights have, like, a really cool gimmick like that, where it's like, yeah, you solved the puzzle. You get a really cool scene of you doing a thing that it wouldn't do in the game otherwise, and it like, feels really fucking good. It, like, like, some of them are just like, hey, you have to have specific monsters with you. I don't like those ones that much. I don't like the, hey, you have to have this to be able to beat this, just because sometimes that's just not a monster I want to use.
Right.
I just don't want to use it. I'm sorry. I don't want to have to take out my Pookie. I don't want to have to take him out. I love my little poison boy. I love him. And it's... but it is just, like, especially in the end game, there's just so many fun interactions in the game that it's probably my favorite RPG of the year, and I'm glad I picked it out instead of Resident Evil.
Hey, Resident Evil Requiem's really good. Okay,
I know. I really look forward to playing it now that my heart really can actually handle it. Like, I can't let that thing start beating fast. I don't want to die because I went, hey, I want to play Resident Evil. Oh, my heart exploded. I turned into a zombie.
But imagine the press. Oh my god. Gamer scared to death by Resident Evil. Ooh. That would go crazy. Lorelai, you also want to talk about this Indiepass subscription for indie games. Tell me about this.
So recently it was like making waves on social media and some game sites not doing due diligence to really look into it. But a company came and announced that, hey, we're doing a Netflix-like subscription for indie games. And, it's got so many titles. It's all one company's titles. It is literally like a scummy thing from one publisher to go, hey, play our games. Which normally I'd be cool about. Normally I'm really cool about that.
Right.
But their like payment structure is literally like based on how much you play specific games. Right. So, hey, I want to join this Indiepass so I can support indie games as a whole, right?
Right.
No, it's the money's only going to the games that get played the most.
Yeah, I'm looking at this website real quick, and boy, this is a lot of things that I've never heard of.
And it's a lot of slop games. They are all from the same publisher, Indie.io.
Hold on. Hold on.
The Indie.io website.
Hold on. I'm taking a screenshot, and I'm going to post it in our Discord real quick, and I would like you to show it to them. I guess I could just screen share it. This is one of the screenshots that they post.
Yeah, do the screen share.
For a game called Assault on Proxima, I'll just screen share it. Look. I'm sorry. This is. Let me open the link up on it real quick so I can zoom in real hard. Give me one sec. This is the screenshot on their website for a game they call Assault on Proxima, and it's gonna be a little zoomed in, so a little drowned out. So bear with me. That's Halo on Lockout.
Yeah.
That's Halo on Lockout. I recognize that. That's Lockout. That's the map Lockout. Yeah. And that's Halo. What do you mean?
It is one publisher's game. Like, that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because so many people were spreading it around like, oh, a cool indie game service. And the more you look into it, the more it's like, ew, actually this feels kind of scummy from one. It's one publisher trying to get money from people when they don't have other people's games on there. It's all just indie.io. And like, that would be cool if you were advertising it as the indie.io subscription pass. All of our published games are on here. But it also sucks that, hey, if I want to play, like, if I want to support indie developers in general, I would have to go on and play every single game once if I wanted my money to support all of these developers.
Okay. So I'm still looking at their website real quick, and I'm currently on the cozy tag of browse the catalog, and we of course have choice cozy titles such as Locked in My Darkness, The Room 2, and Paranormal Investigation. Of cozy games like Undying Flower, or The Survivor, or Dark Mine. I love cozy games. Cozy games are awesome. Trapped underground after a collapse. Oh yeah, you can play Dark Mine. This feels really cozy. Trapped underground after a collapse, you are a sole survivor of a deadly attack. Armed only with a night vision camera, navigate the darkness. Avoid the creature, and find a way out of this retro-style survival horror game. You have to avoid the creature in the cozy game Dark Mine.
Yeah,
just something to think about.
It's just such a weird thing, in that you see it initially and you're like, oh, cool.
Conceptually, not a bad idea.
I'd pay a subscription fee for access to a lot of indie games.
Sure.
Even if they were all from one publisher, but be honest about the fact that it is one publisher. Like, it is not an indie games pass. It is an indie.io pass. Which, like, I it just rubs me the wrong way, especially with how many of these games just do look like asset flip. Like, there are a lot of them that just look bad.
Yeah, there's an aspect to it of like the reporting on it being so vapid. Like, Wario 64 is gonna post that it's like here's whatever, because Wario 64 posts updates as soon as you can find them, and just does it. But it's like there's an unquestioning aspect to it where it's like, how many people signed up for this because they heard it was an Indiepass subscription, and not because it was specifically for one thing.
Yeah.
Or the fact that it feels like they're trying to obfuscate the fact that this is like a publisher pass for a bunch of indie games that, I don't want to speak to the quality of the games, because who knows? Maybe they have some gems. I don't know. Developing indie games is hard.
Yeah.
Some of them might be really good. Some of them might not be. I don't know. There is one here called Yet Another Climbing Game.
Like, it's very
cards like and towers.
It's the kind of thing that I don't want to be frustrated with, but I am, because it feels disingenuous and fake. Like, if eventually it does grow out and they actually bring in people from outside their company, awesome. But it's
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just clicked on the action tab and there's only one thing here, and it's called War Man.
War Man.
It's called War Man.
I mean, you aren't excited about Warman?
War Man is action and adventure RPGs distilled. Don't worry about the plot or moral choices. Create your hero, then go out and conquer a vast, procedurally generated world. Gather loot, raise your stats, then go out and seek further challenges on your own or up to 7 friends at the same time. Who hopping on War Man?
I don't have the pass bot. I can't hop on War Man.
Yeah. You can't buy
right now.
These are all games that are, I looked a bunch of them up on Steam, and it is just like, I wish it was more transparent about what it was, instead of obfuscating what it is. And because if it was, I would have, if it was honest about what it was, there would be no reason for me to want to talk about it. Because all I've seen is, even, yes, Games Press has an issue right now where they just uncritically repeat things. And somebody posted a thing, let's post about it, because we have to meet our post quotas. We aren't really looking into it, we aren't really seeing if it's really what it says it is, and it just feels slimy.
Right.
And that sucks, because this is the kind of thing that I would want to see exist. An Indiepass could be a good thing. Apple Arcade could have been a good thing. Things
fundamentally not a terrible idea.
Yeah. There are things that are worth paying for on a lot of these, and just seeing people talk about looking into the way things are monetized and whatnot, it feels, it just feels like this is to help the publisher, not the developers.
Right. Yeah. It's a strange thing. Hey, look, go. Hey, check it out for yourself. Go to Indiepass. Calling it Indiepass is the thing that really kills me.
Yeah.
It's it really does just feel like they're trying to monopolize on what feels like something people really want, and are just or not really want, but could possibly want, and are trying to scoop it for this specific publisher. Which if there was a need to make this sort of thing, that's probably how it would get made anyways. It would probably be publisher based. It wouldn't be specifically here is the Indiepass. Steam isn't gonna suddenly announce tomorrow that it's gonna make all of its like non-AAA games up for some sort of like subscription service, because that would be a lot of different licensing deals with a lot of different companies to make that work. That's why Game Pass itself is so precarious for a lot of people, because a lot of indie games don't get funded unless they make a contract with Xbox to get on Game Pass.
Yeah, same with like a lot of PlayStation indies and games that come out exclusively for there. They get money from those companies to be able to finish development. Like it's important. Like it's sometimes you need that funding, and the way things are. Like the way venture capitalists have destroyed the industry, that's all that's left.
Yeah. So the branding of an indie pass is what makes this feel so disingenuous. Who knows? Maybe over time they'll make deals with bigger publishers and be like, "We're gonna put your stuff on here, and you'll get this rev split from subscriptions." All right, and like, are probably similar to how Game Pass handles it. It, depending on the amount of people played, you make this much money. Who knows? Who knows what the backside of that looks like? Probably no one who signed up for it. We don't know yet. Anyways, they have a trailer for it too. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, don't. It's not good.
Anyways. Just pay attention. Just keep an eye out. Look to see who's trying to deceive you, so you don't wind up signing up to a service with Warman on it. Let's move on to questions. We got a couple questions. If you want to send us questions, we have a podcast email. I keep forgetting that. I don't know if people have really sent it to us. Either way, if you want to send us questions, go to the Discord, go to the, which is at thegamezone.zone, and you can go to the Ask for the Podcast thread in the content chat, and you will find questions there. You can find where you can post your questions there, and you will see questions like this one from Vioni. Vioni asks, if you were to have dinner with one video game character, who would it be, and what would you make them? Because it's not a date, but it's a one-on-one at your place, and it's kind of a date. Who's your video game character? What are you making for them? And it's like, and the tension is like, it's a little like, it's like you didn't say it was a date when you guys like put this thing together, but it's like there's sort of a little bit of tension there. Yeah, so it's like, it's sort of unspoken. But like, you can kind of feel maybe this might turn into something, but like, right. But you don't want to be the one to like, actively say it. So it's like, what video game character would you want that, and what would you make them? Nikolas, do you have any specific ones you want to cook for?
I can't.
You might kind of want to go on a date for it with.
You'd say the word dinner, and my mind immediately goes to King Arcinian.
Well, he loves that stuff famously, and you might have. I don't know what relationship you have with Arcinian. I don't know what.
I don't know why he'd be here. Is the thing? Yeah. See, well, what royal business does he have?
You guys put together something to hang out, and it's like you didn't call it a date, but it's like it sort of has that vibe, but it's not. It's not. It's not official. It's not officially a date. You wouldn't. Well, no. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him?
He's probably already in a relationship.
That doesn't matter. We're not thinking about that right now. That's not important. And also, we don't know that based on the canon of the CDI games.
I am going to cook a delicious vegan meal for Captain Olimar.
Wow. And this is one-on-ones.
Yeah.
This is one-on-one, so no Pikmin.
Well, I mean, it's a vegan meal for Captain Olimar.
Mm-hmm.
Pikmin are plants.
So you're gonna...
I'm gonna kill his friends and feed them to him.
I would make some really nice chili dogs for Sonic. So just something to think about. Just something to think about. And it's not me. And that's like me and him are just friends. Okay, like nothing's gonna happen. Okay.
Look, I can't have anyone getting between me and my
till Cora dies, stank. Maverick did post "Till Cora Die Stank," so listen, I'm not gonna whatever relationship you have with King Harkinian is your relation. Like, I'm not gonna judge. Okay, it's fine. You can do it. You're both adults. Okay, you're both adults. This is healthy, and you're just friends. It's just a friends dinner. What dinner would you make? That is the question, though, Nikolas. What would you prepare for King Harkinian? And on your not date, because you're just friends.
The Octorok. They're talking about being hungry for, duh. What else am I going to make?
I don't know, like food?
It's food. They talk about eating the Octorok.
Well, Link does, and we don't know what Link is about.
I mean, Link is about cooking anything.
Yeah, he will literally cook anything.
That man will turn anything into fucking curry.
Yeah, so I guess I will too. You know, squid is probably popular in some parts of the world. I don't know if that's the thing people
It tastes good. Like, calamari's good. And Octorok calamari could be pretty good. I could fuck with that. I'd serve Rosalina curry rice because I assume... I assume ever since Mario showed up, she's been socially pressured into only eating Italian food.
Wow. Mario, you suck.
Mario eats mushrooms, like, for the most part. Like,
yeah. I mean, I eat mushrooms.
And flowers. I guess we don't know if he eats the flowers. I guess we don't really know. But yeah, a nice little battering with some calamari. Maybe throw some extra spices in there on the Octorok. Could be good. Could be good. I think that's nice. Next question comes from Maverick. Maverick asks, here is the list of Olympic sports. Which one would you want to center for a game, either as a full-on sports sim a la FIFA 2K, or using the sport as a means for a greater narrative/idea? I pull out the list right here. And we have a lot to choose from. Here's the thing. A fencing game is really obvious. You know what I mean? And I feel like...
Yeah.
I don't know how many, like, actual straight-up fencing games exist. Like, we have sword fighting games, we have dueling games, we have fighting games.
Nidhogg is straight up fencing.
Yeah, but it's also a side-scrolling, like... It's got dive kicks in it. You know,
classic Prince of Persia.
You don't do dive kicks in fencing. Figures.
There's one I hear just called Skeleton. I'm making the Skeleton game.
What is Skeleton?
Skeleton is bobsled, but you're riding solo head first on a small sled.
It is one of the oldest winter sports in existence. Unlike luge, where athletes lay on a sledge on their back, skeleton racers tackle the trick face down. That's crazy. So you want the hardcore skeleton game where you have to avoid hitting your head on rocks as you go.
Yeah, it's like Mr. Bones. When you take damage by hitting a rock, like the bone flies off further down the mountain and you have to get it back.
So here's what I'm going to do. Normally I'd just say hockey because I play hockey. But
there's already hockey games.
I am going to say this. You're going to get the team that made the Outlaw Golf games. And they're going to make a curling game. Where if that fucker touches the rock with his finger after it's crossed the line, you just get to beat the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Here's the thing. I've been thinking, as soon as I saw figure skating on this list, I keep thinking about how there's not a figure skating game out there. It's like, what the fuck? This is such a layup. This is so easy. You just a figure skating league. You got everyone out there. You can even do like fantastical stuff with it, where it's like you're doing like figure skating, like combat and stuff. But you don't even really need to do that. All you got to do is make a hardcore figure skating sim where you need to like put the right amount of pressure on the thumbstick so you move forward enough without like sliding into a wall. Or crashing out and burning out and hurting yourself. And then you press the buttons to do tricks. And then you basically like a skateboarding game.
Yeah.
You could basically make a skateboarding game that's figure skating. And it would be sick as fuck. And then you can do like extra, you don't even have to do it in an arena. You can do freeform figure skating. How does this not exist? I don't even think it needs to be a rhythm game. But that would be cool. Like figure skating does usually have like musical acts associated with it, so that would be really sick if you're like trying to do your figure skating in timing with the music. How is this not a game that exists already? Like, so I played a bunch of Roller Drome, which is the third person shooter that's on roller skates, and it's got like slow down mechanics and stuff, and it's like you're learning how to do the momentum while still doing like roller skating tricks and stuff. And that's cool. That's a really fun, crazy-ass, great game. How is there not just normal figure skating? What happened to us as a society that no one has made the figure skating game? They made Rematch, which is the perfect video game, and that's soccer. But no one has figured out figure skating yet. Not even touched it. Not even barely brushed it. What happened to us? We used to be a culture that made things.
Well, once the AI figures out how figure skating works, some company will go like, hey, so the generative AI came up with the idea to,
Mav asks, can you scroll down to Wushu? I'm clicking on Wushu. Okay, really good first image. Amazing first image for when you on the Wushu page on the on Olympics.com. Just a guy just flat out getting thrown on his face. I'm not sure what Wushu is. It's a Chinese martial art. Okay, awesome, perfect. Literally all we need for a game right there.
Unfortunately, breakdancing isn't part of the Olympics anymore, so I can't answer that.
No
more breaking. They got to remove it from the list.
New badminton. I would love to do badminton. I think that would be awesome. It'd be like Mario Strikers, but like a little chiller. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh, chill, cozy badminton sports game. Ooh, that's an idea. Okay. It's been a couple hours. I think we have a podcast. Yeah. I think that's good. Hold on, equestrian.
Yeah, equestrian. That's we could do some dressage.
I think we should do some dressage. Make the blue box for badminton, basketball, and gymnastics. We haven't had a good box in a while. We just had the orange box, and that's about it.
We need another Sports Friends. Remember Sports Friends?
With a bunch of sports
games and Johann Sebastian Joust.
Oh my god, you're right. I do remember Sports Friends. Blue Box is a manga. Whatever. I'm ending the podcast. Thanks so much for coming to the podcast. Hey, if you like what we do, we're on Gamesline.net. That's our website. You can find everything we post there, including episodes of our podcast, reviews. Mostly episodes of our podcast and reviews right now. We're on Blue Sky, Gamesline.net. We're on Tumblr, Gamesline.tumblr.com. Facebook, Facebook.com/Gamesline. YouTube.com/@TheGamesline. And of course, here on Twitch, where we're streaming right now, if you're watching this later, Twitch.tv/GameslineTV. You can always check out, you can support us by going to Patreon.com/Gamesline. We occasionally put up extra content up there for that's exclusive, or we put out early, and that's $3 a month. And of course our Discord, the GameZone.zone, if you want to come talk to us. We've had a lot more people come in lately and start talking about stuff. Someone's doing a regular anime watch day. That's kind of crazy. It's been a while since anyone's done that in the Discord. It's nice. Yeah. You can come hang out there. Our theme song is, of course, Crush off the album Magic is Real by Melt Channel. And you can check out that and their other act, Magic Circuit. Meltchannel.bandcamp.com and magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Lorelai, where can they find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Judgment Scythe and Twitch at Judgment Scythe. I'm hopefully, now that I'm not sick, gonna be back to streaming soon. So yay!
Yay! And Nikolas, where can they find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at sisicactus.bsky.social.
And I'm on Blue Sky at fkasocks.com and on Twitch, FKASocks. Anything major coming out on Gamesline in the near future?
We've got some more reviews coming up. We got some more content coming up. It's pretty excited. Crystal's got a review in the works. We've got a little bit more coming.
Yeah. Sounds good. Go ahead and follow us. Keep yourself updated. Come join the Discord is honestly the best way to figure out anytime we post anything.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This has been another episode of the Gamesline Podcast. I hope you have a good day, or a good night, wherever or whenever you're listening. I hope it's nice. I hope you're comfortable. I hope you're content. And I just want to give you a quick chugga chugga, and good night.
Bye.
Bye.